Hello creators, I'm Blue Clary. I'm going to teach you how to create a Fortnite creative mechanic that enables your players to communicate with each other by attaching words and icons above their heads. We're going to be using the player marker device. Let's get started. Let's review the features that we need for this mini chat mechanic and the devices that we're going to be using to achieve these. 1. Text phrases and icons will appear over the player's head. We'll be using the player marker device to achieve this. 2. The player will choose and activate their mini chat message. We will be using a signal remote that the player can carry around with them. 3. We need to get the signal remotes into the player's inventory. For this, we will be using a team settings and inventory device to grant the remotes to the player upon them spawning. 4. Mini chat messages must disappear after a short time. And because at the time that I'm filming this video, players cannot see their own nameplates, we need to display to the player their mini chat message on their own screen. For both of these features, we will use the timer device. And lastly, 5. At the end of this video, I'll show you how to add some optional sparkly flair to your mini chat. Hint, we'll be using one of my favorite devices, the VFX Creator. Let's get building. The first thing that we need to do is make sure that nameplates are visible to all of the players in the game because we're going to be attaching our little chat phrases to the players' nameplates. So I'm going to go into my menus, my island, and then we're going to go over to the settings tab here and scroll all the way, almost all the way to the bottom. Nameplates. Always show nameplates. It says always show to team. We want to change it to always show to all, so everybody can see each other's nameplates, no matter what team they're on. Next, we need our player marker device. So going back in here, devices, player marker. I'm just going to search for it. Marker. There it is. Player marker. All right. Place now. Okay. And now we're going to press E to customize. Let's go into the advanced options here. So click on those. I'm going to make it say, okay, so I'm going to say mark your text here. I'm going to say hello. So that if you run into your friend in the game or if you want to make new friends, you can say hello. So hello, that's my text. Show icon. Okay, so I'm going to give it an icon. I'm going to give it a little smiley. And you can actually search for things in this search bar, which is great. So you could search, I don't know, arrow. And it'll give you some arrows. So color. I'm going to give it like a classic yellow smiley. I'm actually going to put quotation marks around hello, so it's like kind of like they're talking. Let's go into our channels over here. We want attach to player when received from. We're going to do channel 1. Okay. Let's give our players something else to say. So I'm going to copy my player marker. Make another one. We're going to go change some settings on here. So we only need to worry about the settings that we already changed on the other one. So just go into this asterisk here. We're going to make it say goodbye. Okay. And let's put a little hand, like we're waving. And change the color. We will make it, I don't know, blue. And attach player when received from channel 2. So we have channel 1 and channel 2. Channel 1 is the hello channel and 2 is the goodbye channel. Quick tip. Later I found out from Tiny Maniac that you can copy and paste emojis into the player marker. So I'm including in the description of this video a link to a spreadsheet of emojis that you can copy, and it's super fun. So now our player markers, our hello marker and our goodbye marker, are waiting for a message on channel 1 and channel 2 to tell them to attach their message to the player. And so we need to send them messages on channel 1 or channel 2 to tell them what to do. For that, we are going to use a signal remote. And I like the signal remote because the player can carry it around the map. To set up our signal remotes, we need to get the signal remote manager. This is a device, so we're going to go into devices. I'm just going to type in signal remote manager. Sure. All right, place now. There it is. In order for this to work, we need to pair it with a signal remote, because this is the manager for the signal remote, but we need to tell it which signal remote we're using. So we're going to go into actually our weapons. The signal remote is a weapon. That's kind of weird, but we're going to grab, let's just get the orange one. Yeah, we're going to equip it. Now we're going to get out of edit mode. We're going to put our phone away. And now you see we have our signal remote in my inventory. So I'm going to go into my loadout and drag this onto the signal remote manager. We will see if it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Wish me luck. Oh no, I can't believe it. Okay. So what happened here is that I accidentally paired my signal remote with my player marker instead of the signal remote manager. And when that happens, there is no way to undo it. So I'm going to have to redo this entire player marker. I'm going to have to get a new one and redo it. I guess be careful. Maybe even just like move your signal remote manager farther away. Just move it away from everything. Okay. Let's try this again. Please work. Okay, yes. Okay, so now it worked. It has turned the signal remote manager orange to match the device that it is paired with. If the color didn't change and you're not sure if the pairing worked or not, you can actually just pick the whole thing up and put it back down, and the color should update. I'm just gonna bring this back over to my other stuff. Oh yeah, and I have to fix this, but I'm not gonna make you watch that, So now that we have our signal remote manager matched up with the signal remote, the orange one, let's change the settings here. Okay. So all we need to worry about is on primary activation transmit on, we're gonna do channel 1. So for me, the signal remote, the players are gonna have two options with their signal remote. For me on PC, they can use the left mouse button or the right mouse button. I don't know, it depends on what platform you're on. So on primary activation transmit on channel 1, when the player presses with their left mouse button, it's going to transmit on channel 1. And on secondary fire transmit on channel 2, so the right mouse button is going to be transmitting on channel 2. And if you remember, channel 1 is the hello channel, and channel 2 is the goodbye channel. So now we have our mini chat messages, we have a way for the player to activate those messages, and now we need a way for us to get these signal remotes into the player's inventory so that they can use them. So we can use, what is it called? Team settings and inventory. Okay, equip, whatever. Okay, there. Let's put it, where should we put it? Should be here. Let's put it here. This is a pretty cool device because we can use it to make it so that the player has certain things in their inventory when they spawn into the game. So what we can do is the same thing that we did over here with the signal remote manager. We have to pair our signal remote with the device over here. Okay. Drag it onto the thing. Boop. So now you can see, look, our little orange signal remote is hovering over our team settings and inventory, and that means that it's recognized. All right, now we're gonna change, you don't really have to change a lot of settings, you can explore these on your own, but the main thing I want to do is I do want to make it so that it says grant items on respawn, yes. So that means that once your player dies, if they come back to the game, they will still have their signal remotes. Let's test this out. It's going to be a little annoying to test this mechanic because the player is not able to see their own nameplate, only the nameplates of the other players in the game. So you're going to need to get a friend to come into your game with you to test this out, or if you have an alt account on 2 different platforms, like for example, I'm going to use my Switch. Start game. And there she is. It's my alt, 2 Clary. Hello, 2 Clary. It's good to see you again. Blue Clary and 2 Clary together again. Okay. Wait. All right, let's do this. I'm nervous. Let's see if it works. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, well, we can already see that we do have a little orange signal remote there in our inventory, so that worked, at least. I'm going to try this out with 2 Clary. All right. Ready? Yes, it worked. You see that? It says hello. Let's try out the other one. Let's try out goodbye. We can't, right? Because it's just going to say hello forever. What we want is for our little message to appear and then disappear after a short amount of time. And we need to set up some sort of timer to make that happen. Also, another thing that's happening here is I can take out my signal remote and press it, right? And see, and see, I don't actually see anything over my head, right? I don't even know if it worked. However, I do know it worked because I'm looking at my Switch and you can't really see it, but Blue Clary, 2 Clary does see hello over Blue Clary's head, but we wouldn't know. So here are 2 issues here, right? We need to make the message disappear after a short amount of time. And we also need to give the player some feedback that shows them that they, like, what they're saying to the other player and just makes them know that it actually worked, because we can't tell right now because we can't see our own nameplates currently at the time I'm making this video. I don't know if that's going to change someday. To solve these problems, we're going to use a timer device. So, tab, devices, here's the timer right here. All right, place now. Let's change some settings. Duration, we're going to turn that down to 3 seconds. So this is how long the mini chat message is going to stay over the player's head before disappearing. Timer name, we can give it a name. We'll call it hello. Countdown. Okay. Applies to, we're going to say player, because we want this countdown message to only appear to that player who's triggering the signal device and signal remote, and not to all the other players in the game. Okay, completion behavior, we're going to change that to reset so that the timer resets once it gets to the bottom. Display, I'm going to make it seconds. Timer running text, this is important, so we're going to put hello here. So the word hello is going to appear on this player's screen, letting them know that they're saying hello and that it worked and that the other players can see it. And start when receiving from, we're going to put channel 1, because remember that is the channel that the signal remote for hello is communicating on. And on success, transmit on. We're going to put channel 3 there. So once this timer gets all the way down to the end, it's going to transmit a message on channel 3 telling the player marker, please detach the mini chat message from the player. Definitely says please, because it's a very polite timer. Just like in the player marker, you can also copy and paste emojis into the timer device. So again, there's a spreadsheet in the description of this video. Check it out. Timer label text style, I'm going to turn that to small because I want it to just take up a little bit of space on the screen. So if you remember, we have 2 player markers here, right? We have hello, and goodbye. So we need to make a goodbye timer. So let's just duplicate that. And we're going to, remember, we're only going to look at these asterisk settings, because those are the ones that we changed on the other one. Duration, okay, same. We'll call it goodbye countdown. So these are the same. We'll make it say goodbye. And start when receiving from channel 2, because channel 2 is the goodbye channel. On success, transmit on channel 4. Okay. So now we have to add a setting to our player markers so they can listen to our timers and know to detach the mini chat. So we're going to go into channels, detach from player when received from. So this is our hello, so it's going to detach when received from channel 3. And then our goodbye is going to detach from player when it receives from channel 4. But I lost to Clary. She left me. So I have to get her back. It might take a second. All right, Clary is back. So let's test this timer thing. Hello. Okay, let's see if it disappears. Yes, it disappears. Okay. Now, let's see what happens for me. Let's do it. The moment of truth. Yes! Look at that. You see that it says hello on the screen? It disappears very fast. Honestly, I think that's too fast. So we're gonna have to fix that. But, pretty successful, right? And now that our message does disappear, a little mini chat message, we should be able to switch back and forth between hello and goodbye. So let's try it. Hello. Okay, and you can see I can't press goodbye yet. Goodbye! Yes, okay. And now you can see I can't press it yet. There's a little bit of a cooldown, right? That you can't press your signal remote again a bunch of times in a row. You have to wait. So that's fine. That actually works for us. All right, end game. No, Charlie. Oh my god. I know you're a good boy. I don't think 3 seconds is long enough for our message. So let's go in here. 3 seconds. Let's make that 5. And we also have to change the other timer. And another thing we have to do is we have to change the signal remote over here, because we have a cooldown time of 3 seconds. So that means when the player presses the little signal device, they have to wait 3 seconds before they can press it again. But now that our message stays on the screen for 5 seconds, we're going to change this to 5 seconds. Okay. I'm getting a little loopy because I filmed this many times trying to get it right for y'all. So I hope you like this tutorial. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. Now your players can say hello and they can say goodbye. That's adorable. If you want, maybe you want them to say other stuff too. Well, we actually have 5 inventory slots there. So, and we also have 5 different signal remotes. So potentially you could give them 5 signal remotes and they each have 2 phrases on them. So you could give them 10 different phrases to say, right? It just depends on how much space you want to leave them in their inventory for other stuff. Because I plan on having multiple of this mechanic in my game, I'm actually going to go in and name these things to make it easier for me to tell them apart. So I'm going to go into this little gear here and rename, and I'm going to call this I'm going to call it remote hello / goodbye. Save. See, so you see how much neater this is? They're all labeled marker goodbye, timer hello, timer goodbye. We're just going to copy and paste all of this. Okay. And we just need to make a few little changes. Here is my example. I've already finished this. We have heart and LOL. And you can see I have already paired my signal device manager with a different signal device. We've got the pink one here. And I have changed the channels, so it's now channel 5 and 6. All you're going to be changing on our player marker and timers is that we want anywhere where it was channel 1 and 2, we want it now to be channel 5 and 6. And we're also going to be changing stuff like the words that we're using and the icons that we're using. Words, icons, and channels. That's all you're changing. And the same for the timers. You're going to have to change the channels on your timers. And don't forget, you're going to pair any new signal device that you add with your team settings and inventory device. You can really use any phrases and pictures that you want to. Just think about like what your players need to communicate to each other in the game. Maybe there's a lot of action, so you need people to say like, oh, attack, let's attack together. I don't really play those kind of games that often. Or maybe you want to say like, thank you, and be cute like that. I'm putting a list of things that I think might be fun to say in games, and let me know what you want to have your players say in the game. You can put that in the comments on this video. Now we're going to do my favorite part, sparkles. So as you can see over here, I have already set up my 2 VFX Creator devices, one of them for my hearts player marker and another one for my LOL player marker. And I'm going to show you the settings. These are just the settings that I've changed here. For settings that have to do with the look of your VFX, I've actually left most of them default and just changed a couple, like the color or the sprite shape, because I want you to experiment and create your own looks. However, there are some mechanics that you need to keep the same in order for it to work. So spawn mode, bursts, and loop, never. We need these because we want to spawn the effects in a little burst and then have them go away. Stick to body part, yes. That kind of explains itself, right? And these 2 channels here, spawn at player when receiving from and remove effect from player when receiving from, we're going to be attaching this effect to the player at the same time that we are attaching the player marker, right? So these channels, you need to use the same channels that you are using on your player marker device for attaching the player marker and detaching the player marker. As always with VFX, keep in mind that they're going to look different on different platforms, like on PC or console. They actually don't even show up on my Switch at all. I love VFX, and if you want to learn more about them, I do have a video you can check out, so I'm going to put that in the description, and also put a card right here. All right, thanks for sticking with me. That was a long one. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. You can also join my Discord, which is linked in the description. Keep creating, keep playing. I believe in you.